storytelling, starring Bobby Carpenter and Jeff Tito Thitoff. It's time to attack and dominate.
Attack and dominate on a, what is it, Bob? Thursday? You got this team. Yes, is it today, Thursday?
Sure, yeah.
All right, there we
Sounds
go.
good to me.
It's a great day to be a Buckeye. Last name ever, first name greatest. That's Bobby Carpenter. My left right here. Bodie, other side of the glass. 2 flowers here on YouTube, fan app, HD3. Download the show anytime. Catch us from 10 a.m. to noon on 10 TV Plus. Also, Bodie, Facebook, Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
And I apologize for mispronouncing your name. It's a Thursday, so it's Brody. Albert Breer at 7 a.m. Bobby, yes? Sure. All right.
Sounds good to me.
Ya Highness around 7:30, 7:35. We'll get him in, not in here, on here. Not in studio today, Bob.
Unfortunately.
Ya Highness. Okay, that's a great. Unfortunately, you wish he was here in studio.
I mean, he was entertaining.
He was. I like him, yeah. But when I told Fish that.
He was about as expected.
When I told, I do the text to Fish every day about who's in studio or who's going to be on the show the next day.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said, Breer, 7 o'clock, Ya Highness, 7, I think I said 7:35.
Sure.
And he said, in studio, I said, I don't think so. And he said, thank God. Which means that that Fish was not a fan of Ya Highness in studio, but I was.
I don't know if it may have been more satirical in nature.
May have been. Morning Juice sponsored by Riverside Bank in Dublin. So big show lined up for you today. We'll talk Ohio State football. Were you at practice yesterday for a little bit?
Bounced through, yeah.
Okay. Good, because that's the second segment, so I need you to carry it. We will hear from Devin Sanchez, though. We'll hear what he had to say post-practice. I would assume it would be post, not pre. Post-practice, who are Devin Sanchez.
All media availability is post-practice.
That's what I figured, Bob. Cavs beat the Hawks last night, 122-116. CBJ, big one. All of them are big now in Buffalo tonight. I think, Bob, probably must win through the end for the Jackets.
So you have a little room, but I'd rather win now than
Yes.
have to win at the very end.
Reds lose to the Marlins 7-4. They play at 12-10 today in Miami. Guards over the Royals 10-2. They're off today. Masters tees off at 7:40 a.m. Bob, there was a death in baseball yesterday. Not a player, not like.
No, I mean, Jimmy Dugan said there's no dying in baseball.
I think that's kind of what he said. It's close. I've never seen that movie. That's the women's baseball movie. What's that one called?
It's no surprise a misogynist like yourself wouldn't have seen that.
No. What's the name of the movie, Bob?
That's why you didn't watch Remember the Titans, too.
Because
racist as well.
Because I'm racist and misogynist. That's fine, Bob.
They should have had him run to Gettysburg.
Exactly.
I know it wasn't Field of Dreams because
he would have said he was hurt and lied in the infirmary.
I got halfway there. Bob, we talked about yesterday about somebody running 2 miles. I ran 2 miles in just under 12 minutes one time.
How long ago was that time?
So what's the name? It's called what's the name of the women's baseball movie with Hanks and Madonna and Rosie?
League of Their Own.
League of Their Own. That's what it is. All right.
Back before that came out.
Been a hot minute. Yeah. Yes, has to be right because it was like 1990.
That was probably mid-90s. I'd say.
Yeah, 90s when
92.
I ran the. Okay, 92. Close to that. I probably still could have done it in 92, but it was before that though when I did that. But it always helps to have a drill sergeant who's leading the pack.
Yeah, pace setter.
Yes. That was the worst thing, Bob, in the Army, was they would do like at some point they blow a whistle and the guy in the very end, the back,
Get a whistle.
had to get up in front of everybody.
We called those Indian runs where you'd go from the back to the front.
I don't know. I don't recognize it's just people runs. I don't
Indigenous people runs.
I just do that, Bob. Did my wife build a teepee in our backyard? Yes.
Cultural appropriation.
I'm not going to say anything about it. Anyway, also, so the death in baseball, Davy Lopes. If I say Davy Lopes, does that mean anything to either one of you? Probably
I have
not
no
to
idea
Bodie.
who Davy Lopes is.
Yeah,
Nothing?
Me neither.
All right. God, I wish this is where we should be calling Shark. Davy Lopes was a second baseman for primarily the Dodgers in their heyday in the 70s when they were doing that.
Right. Yeah.
I know, Bob.
That makes all the sense
No,
in the world
listen,
now.
I'm just telling you, like Davy Lopes was a 4-time All-Star, 4 years in a row actually, but he was
He's not big enough to make today in history, so
I know.
He can't be
Bob,
that
that's
good.
why I put him in there. Because we keep it today in history because he just died yesterday.
Well, he has been born, though, so his birthday
Fair.
doesn't pop
That's
up.
fair. That's fair. But played for the Dodgers with the when you had Garvey at first, Lopes at second, Bill Russell at third, Bill Russell at short,
Russell.
Ron Say at third. Yeah, not that Bill Russell. He'd be a great shortstop though.
Paul
Trying to get
Harvey
over
at
said-
first?
Paul Harvey, yes. Steve Garvey, Paul Harvey, whatever at first. Okay, so Bob, this is what I'm telling you. And you two youngers, you two whippersnappers, will experience what I'm experiencing right now someday. When the guys that you watched as a kid.
Well, that's already happened.
Okay. What's been your biggest death as a kid of a sports guy? That, like, you said, God, I can't believe that guy died.
Walter Payton died.
Okay, Peyton's your biggest one. But you weren't in Peyton's heyday, though. You were...
Play with him on Tecmo Bowl.
I got... Bo Jackson's the best on Tecmo Bowl. And
Still
also,
alive, though.
Randall Cunningham. Well, okay. I think Bo Jackson died when he broke his hip. But anyway, though, Bob, so what else? Is there another sports figure?
Oh, goodness. Dwight Clark.
Okay, Dwight Clark. I could see that, yeah.
I mean, I could look through a lot of players, NFL players.
But,
what's probably worse is guys who I played with have died.
Well, guys you played with, that's totally different.
So
Bob. I can't see that.
So that's a little,
right.
that's a little different.
But guys that you watched, though, growing up, like you're like 9-year-old Bobby, and you're watching guys, and you're playing Tecmo Bowl, whatever. You're playing, Madden in those days. You were 9 years old. When were you born? What year? 83. Okay, so... Yeah, I would say like Madden 94, you're playing games, and some of the guys are dead. Bodie, is there a sports death of somebody that sticks out to you, and you're like, this one affects me?
Well, I mean, it didn't necessarily affect my day-to-day life.
No.
But, the Kobe news was
Okay, Kobe, that's a great example right there. Anybody else, Bob?
I don't know if any of these deaths affect your day-to-day life.
Yeah,
but I'm saying that it's like one of those things like it jars you a little bit.
Yeah, but you're 54. A guy you watched growing up would be in his 70s probably.
Davey Lopes, I think, was 80.
Okay, so
Yeah,
him
cancer.
dying.
I'm just saying, though, Bob, it's just like a name, though, of somebody who I'm not saying it's like affecting my day-to-day life, but when I hear it, when I see it, and I'm like, oh, Davey Lopes. Somebody I haven't thought about in a while. He also managed the Brewers for 2 years, I think. But he was a coach for a long time in Major League Baseball. I think he still might have the record for most consecutive successful stolen bases. Why is Bodie laughing at that? Brody laughing at that.
He's never seen a Marvel movie, Bob. Probably couldn't name
Exactly.
a character, but...
By the way,
Thanos?
Guardians of the Galaxy was on last night.
Ooh, which one? First
Ant-Man?
one?
First one.
First one's
I
probably
think
the
it's
best
the
one.
first one.
Okay.
All
That's
three
where
are
they-
pretty good, though.
Yeah, I believe that's the first one.
Dude.
I saw.
Okay, Marvel jumped the shark.
Maybe.
Do you know what jump the shark is?
Yes, I do know what
Okay,
that
it's
means.
We talked about the reference in that. It's made that is made today in history.
Okay,
when
great.
Fonzie
Okay,
jumps the shark.
Gotcha. Okay, but when you get a raccoon in a Marvel movie that talks.
That was one of the best ones.
No,
Oh, it's
but
Bradley
no,
Cooper.
It doesn't.
Also, it's not real life.
He doesn't dress
most
up.
They're
people
also in
go into the movie.
spaceships.
Yeah.
The guy has a whistle and he controls an arrow
Okay,
that
I'm just-
goes around. Like, I mean, come on now.
That's what I'm saying, though, Bob. If you got a raccoon talking in your movie, you kind of lose me on that one. I'm not saying the rest of the movie is realistic, or the rest of the whole genre, if you want to be really specific.
Junior Seau passing away.
Oh, that was a big one, yeah.
Corey Stringer.
Oh, Stringer, yeah.
If you're gonna make me go to it, Steve McNair.
On that high note,
Steve McMichael just passed away. Is that that's not today in history because he died.
Not today.
Not today. It's not. We'll talk about it someday, but he died. And they found out now he had ALS, but also had CTE. How many
good.
other abbreviations do you want to have? How many other acronyms?
Yep, that's good. You want to get a combo of that.
Right. I used to say that I am Jeff Thitoff, MD, PhD, and BAD. Bob, make me smarter.
Time to get smarter. Morning Juice presents Today in History. Here's your professor, Bobby Carpenter.
Poof, David Copperfield, make me smarter.
It is Thursday, April 9th, the 99th day of the year.
JJ Watt.
266. Wayne Gretzky.
Great one there. Good Lord. Good
That's
call.
what they call him, actually. The great one.
The great one. That's a good call by you and a great one, yes.
Not a great one. The great
one.
The great one.
That's a big name to live up to, by the way.
Well, it is. That's why Dustin Johnson married his daughter.
Oh, yeah.
among
that's
other
right.
reasons.
Well, yeah.
Maybe a couple of ones, yeah.
I mean, Rothman might be more in love with his wife. I'm not sure which.
I'm sure Rothman is. Are you kidding me? Yes, of course Rothman is.
I asked him if you could date Paulina or
What, Rick Ocasek's wife? That's where you're old, right?
the Gretzky. It's Paulina's mom.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Which one would you date?
What was
Yeah.
her name? And that's Rothman. 100% was going for the mom.
Yes, he was. But he's old.
This date's 1784. The Treaty of Paris, which officially ended the American Revolution, is ratified by Congress on January 14th. But they didn't have facsimiles or DocuSign or anything, so it wasn't signed by King George III until April 9th. They had to sail
Took 'em
that.
a minute.
It has sailed that bad boy back across. The passenger pigeon, it was too far for the Ravens to make it, Bodie. Couldn't send a Raven. This date, and amazingly, on 1865, Robert E. Lee surrenders the Army of Northern Virginia to Ulysses S. Grant. Ulysses S. Grant. Where did he surrender at?
Appomattox.
Close.
Appomattox?
Hippopotamus.
Yeah, okay. Look, A-P-P-A-T.
A-P-P-O-M. Appomattox.
Appomattox. That's what. Bob, I had the spirit.
Honestly, when you said Appomattox the one time, I was like, I'll give you partial credit. You're not getting it on Jeopardy, but if you would have wrote it out, it would have been.
Thank you.
You at least had the spirit of the understanding of what it was.
I think that's fair.
Which was kind of a surprise.
Which one? That they surrendered or that I got it?
That you got it.
Oh, okay.
1960. Well, you should know it, but either way.
I wasn't born.
Neither was I.
Well, we both know
Kind of
it
a
then.
significant moment.
Appomattox.
1962, John F. Kennedy throws out the opening pitch at Washington's new D.C. Stadium. 1967, the Boeing 737 makes its maiden flight, and then 2 years later, out of Great Britain, the Concorde makes its first test flight, and it's been decommissioned. But in 1965, in Houston, Texas, they call it the eighth wonder of the world.
Oh, yes.
The Astrodome opens with its first indoor baseball game ever. The Yankees win an exhibition 2-1, and Mickey Mantle hits the first indoor home run.
The shape of things to come in our national sport as the baseball season gets underway. The spanking new Astrodome is the new $31 million home of the Houston Astros.
The fact your
A
dad
dome stadium
I'll tell you
that
that.
holds nearly 50,000 for a baseball game and more for conventions and meetings. The plastic ceiling makes it an all-weather stadium. But already there is trouble. Fielders have a time keeping their eye on high-fly balls during daylight games. Research teams are working on the problem. The scoreboard is something. An opposition blast, and it cries, tilt. The scoreboard is a $2 million item that's a show in itself. When the home team pulls something spectacular, like scoring the winning runs, there's no holding that mechanical marvel in center field.
The fact your dad is not in a wheelchair is amazing to me.
I mean, you could probably get in one if you ask.
I mean, okay, there's your poll question, Bodie. Who's in a wheelchair first, me or Bobby's dad? Because that turf was ridiculously hard.
So when they're playing that game, I don't think that they're playing on turf.
What do you mean?
It had a plastic ceiling. It was clear at the beginning.
Yeah,
You know
at the
why?
Because they were trying to grow the grass in there.
So we're trying to grow the
Yeah.
grass. So
But
them
when your
saying
dad
there,
played, though, it was...
my dad played there, but in that clip,
Yeah, in that clip, yes.
I'm pretty sure it was grass. So you can imagine Houston, Texans, Bodie, in the summer, the
It's
glass,
pretty
I think it was pretty warm. They said my dad said I want to say 14 guys died. They painted the top of it.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. After that,
They
yeah.
painted,
they
and
did.
then they're like, well, we can't grow the grass in here now, so we need to figure something out. So that was the creation of AstroTurf.
Did either of you... I'm asking this question because you guys aren't movie guys like me. But, okay, the original Bad News Bears, Walter Matthau.
Yeah,
You've both seen that.
I'm generally aware of it, yes.
Have you seen it, Bodie?
I've seen the newer one
Okay.
with I think it was Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah,
right?
Billy Bob, whatever. Billy Ray. Anyway, Bob, have you ever seen the second Bad News Bears movie?
I've seen the original and then the new one. There was
Okay.
a Bad News Bears 2.
Bad News Bears, and Breaking Training. And Kelly, the one who was smoking at 14 and driving a moped across the field and stuff like that in the first one, he finds his dad, his real dad, down in
Little Jeff.
Houston.
Okay.
Little Jeff. Anyway, and they end up playing an exhibition game in the Astrodome. And it's a wonderfully done movie, Bob. It didn't get great reviews, but it was a great movie. Bad News Bears and Breaking Training. They play in the Astrodome, see Astros players. It's a big deal.
Doesn't sound like as good as the first one.
It wasn't as good as the first one, but it was still Empire Strikes Back.
A lot of people say that's the best Star Wars.
Okay, then maybe it's Return of the Jedi, but it's one of them.
Okay. This date, 1970, Paul McCartney announces the Beatles are going to be splitting up. And then in 1989, Ricky Henderson steals his 800th base as the New York Yankees fall to the Cleveland Indians 4-3. Surprised you couldn't find anything on that.
Yeah, the only thing on YouTube was just some guy talking about it.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
this isn't very interesting.
I can't believe they don't have like the audio.
I
feel like
know.
that would have been a fairly
Either radio or TV.
Yes.
Something. 1980, you said, right?
Yeah.
89.
89.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
They're still on 800 bases, for heaven's sake. I mean, it's not like they were surprised. He had 799 before that.
Son of a gun.
This date, 1898. Curly Lambeau, the Packers head coach for which the stadium is named, was born. And the best marketing geniuses all around. In 1926, Hugh Hefner was born.
One of the things about my life that sets it apart to some extent is that there's never been any hypocrisy in it. I am who I appeared to be, if anybody was paying attention. And the major influences in my life were my mother on the one hand and the movies on the other. I was tremendously influenced by movies and by the romantic songs of the time.
To what extent was that first issue an expression of your fantasies of what life should be?
Almost 100%. It really was a wish book.
Really was a wish book.
Telling
There you
you.
go.
Listen,
He
hearing Hugh
lived,
Hefner
he
talk,
lived at 91.
hearing Hefner talk about how his mom was an influence
That did throw me off a
it's
little bit
kind of
yesterday.
interesting. If I say, hey, I do all this stuff, thank God my mom was here. That part right there throws me off, Bob.
I mean,
Even if it's true, I wouldn't say it publicly. If I said, hey, I'm Playboy guy, man,
What's
I
he
love
got
my
to
mom.
lose?
Well, he's dead now, so it doesn't
Well,
matter at that
especially
point.
now.
Yes.
Even then.
But I'm just saying, at that point, though, it's like I would not bring my mom into Playboy Mansion.
maybe she lived there with him.
Say hi to her for me.
Turning 72 today. Curious what you pulled from this gentleman. Got a pretty wide catalog, Mr. Dennis Quaid.
Edwards Air Force Base. This is the place to be, huh? They're going faster and farther and higher here than anywhere else.
Slow down, come on, now you're scaring the girls. Come on, you're scaring the girls. You are.
Come on, Trudy. Who's the best pilot you ever saw? Huh? Who's the best pilot you ever saw? You're looking at it, baby.
All right. What movie was that?
The Right Stuff.
Is that the right time? I've never seen that.
Neither have I.
Okay, so we're all none of us see
okay.
movies. Dennis Quaid was he played Jerry Lee Lewis in Great Balls of Fire.
Yep.
Jerry Lee Lewis famous for marrying his 14-year-old first cousin.
Perfect.
Say hi to your mom for me.
Cynthia Nixon turning 70 as Sex and the City fame.
There they were, our ex-boyfriends.
What are they doing together? What are they, friends now? Apparently, this is bad.
What do you think they're talking about?
What do you think they're talking about?
They're dogs?
Yeah, here's their dog conversation. How's your dog? Good. How's yours? Good. Was that those two bitches who ruined our lives?
I know, I'm 10 minutes late.
Well, I'm 3 weeks late.
What?
I'm pregnant.
Fair change. You are beautiful ladies. You'll make some man very happy.
You're pregnant? Really?
No, I just thought it might be a fun thing to say.
Court, Sex and the City girl?
I think she watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think she was like avid about it, but I'm pretty sure she watched almost all of it.
I've never seen an episode. Have you ever been
Watched an
forced
entire episode?
of
I've seen a lot of like
clips?
partial, well, not clips, partial episodes.
I got you.
It's not like I'm looking at it on social media. Like I would sit down and be on, and
Why not?
watching it?
It's not like the 78 Oilers-Steelers game.
Very similar, I guess.
Okay.
Another, I mean, Hugh Hefner, Jenna Jameson born on the same day, turning 52.
Nice personality.
Bodie didn't know who she was.
He had no idea who he was.
I was impressed.
Ugh. Hey, she's on the
Did
list still.
Did you look her up?
I did not know. I
Not on the
Didn't
work
think
computer.
about
I
it.
wouldn't. I
She
mean,
did.
not on the work computer. I wouldn't do it. No, you can do it at home. I would do it on your phone, but not. No.
Turning the big 4-0 today. I believe he's the all-time leading rusher in Michigan history. Former running backs coach up there, now current running backs coach for Boston College, Mr. Mike Hart.
Hart again. Battles toward the end zone. Got it. Touchdown, Michigan. Wide receivers on the field, and instead it is Hart, and he reaches out. Second effort. Battles. Touchdown. My, what a second effort by Michael Hart.
Is he the leading one? Really?
He started 4 years.
You are correct on that, yeah. Number
There you
2
go.
is
Wow.
Shoelace, Bernard Robinson.
It's amazing. They've had some good ones come through there, though.
Yeah, they have. Tyrone Wheatley. I mean, they've had a number of good ones from
Jakob
long-
Patuka, I think, had almost 5,000 yards at one game.
against Ohio State.
Yeah.
Yeah, all in one day.
Yep.
Turning 40 today as well. Leighton Meester, starring Blair Waldorf on Gossip Girl.
Brown is an Ivy League school.
Everyone knows that the only real Ivies are the Holy Trinity: Harvard, Yale, and Princeton.
I know you may find this hard to believe, but not everyone wants to go to Yale because not everyone wants to be Blair Waldorf.
Not everyone can be. I'm the best of the best. I'm Blair Waldorf.
Probably never seen an episode of that, have you?
I don't even know what it was.
Gossip Girl?
Yeah, okay. I think.
XOXO.
Okay.
Did you watch that? Was that in your wheelhouse?
I've never seen it. I just know
Okay.
that's a thing.
Okay.
I will tell you this. I promise you, my wife has seen every episode.
It's way outside of her demographic.
Dude, her demographic, she doesn't know her demographic. This is the thing, Bob. There are some people that don't know what their era is or what their genre is or genre.
What about the Eras tour?
She has no, Bob, I'm telling you, she doesn't know what it is. I'm sure I am sure, by the way, Bob, I would say twice she has seen every episode of Gossip Girl.
Okay, fair enough.
You watch Gotham?
Gotham, what's that?
I guess I'm going to guess no then.
I don't watch like my wife watched Gossip Girl. That was like right on the edge as I was getting out of. I was in the NFL when that came out, but Romo's brother-in-law was one of the main characters in the movie, or the TV show.
Romo's brother-in-law was in Gossip Girl?
Yeah, Chase Crawford, his wife's husband.
Wow.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
you learn something new every day.
That's good show prep. We talked about this. Let's start doing conversations at night.
I don't know what that means, but sure.
Okay, thank you.
Actually, not sure.
Not FaceTime, just conversations.
No,
Bob. Just
that might be
conversations, Bob.
excessive.
Show prep.
Twilight star Kristen Stewart turning 36.
You're impossibly fast and
you.
strong.
Yep.
Your skin is pale white and ice cold. Your eyes change color. And sometimes you speak like you're from a different time. You never eat or drink anything. You don't go out in the sunlight. I know what you are.
Say it.
Vampire.
Those vampire, zombie stuff.
Has Heather seen all of those?
Of course, dude, of course she has. Listen.
I watched them all during COVID. I'd never seen any of it when all was going on. It was like, this stuff is stupid. And then my wife started watching them, and then I don't know what happened. One day, COVID, we were just when it all started, I was like, you know what? These are on and they're available. I've got like a day and a half to burn. Let's just start watching them.
There's some like high school vampire werewolf movie or show that was out that my wife and daughter have seen all of those.
Teen Wolf.
Buffy
Wolf.
the Vampire Slayer.
It's not Buffy either. No, it's just like some kind of
Abe Lincoln vampire.
No, there's some kind of
No. If you want to watch our 16th president save the world, that might be the movie.
That was 15, but 16, okay. But anyway, like the fact that there was like a movie about, I don't know what it was called, but it was a high school thing. A series, a high school thing, I think it was, where there were vampires and werewolves coexisting with regular people. And I know that my wife and daughter have watched all of those.
It sounds like Twilight.
It's not Twilight.
No,
it's not
exactly.
Twilight.
Just
it's
a TV version.
It's not that one.
Just a TV
whatever
version.
it is, but I can't remember what it's called. But they watched all of those.
Turning 27 today. Speaking of the Old Town Road, Mr. Lil Nas X.
I got the horses in the bag. Horse stock is attached. Head is matted black. Got the bushes black to match. Riding on a horse. Ha, you can whip your Porsche.
There we go. Are you aware who Lil Nas X is?
Yes, because I listened to that song.
Because you love white rappers?
First of all, he's not white, Bob. He's black.
Job.
Okay?
Good job on that.
First of all,
Vampire Diaries.
That's what it was, yes.
There you go.
Yes, I don't see color. But anyway, listen to that song about 19 times driving back from Virginia one year. Because
Willingly?
No, not willingly.
Okay.
The kids had it on repeat. And
Who was driving the car?
I was driving it, but they had the
you need to watch Rush Hour.
I understand, Bob. If you think I'm ever in control of anything, by the way, today,
this is
right
the problem.
now, okay,
you are
that's
a
fine.
passive observer in your
You're
own
absolutely-
life.
Okay, Bob. Right now, the fact that I've got the sounds over here, this is the most control I am ever in my life.
that is a sad indictment.
It's fine, but don't
It's
ever.
not.
No, listen. Let's keep the show going. This is my moment.
This is your time.
Thank you very much, Brody.
Oh, goodness. Some passings today. Frank Lloyd Wright passing away in 1956, the famed architect. Rough Buckeye passing 10 years ago. It's hard to believe. Losing number 93 for the Buckeyes, Mr. Will Smith.
And Kingsbury to pass. Looking up the middle, hit from behind and brought down at his own 41-yard line. And it was Will Smith who got in there, the junior defensive end from Utica, New York, to get his first sack of the year. And Dorsey back to throw. Pressure coming, and he knocked down at the 15-yard line. Dorsey got knocked down as Will Smith, defensive end, came off the right defensive end and just brushed right into him.
Yeah, Will Smith blew by number 76, Carlos Joseph, the 6'6", 316-pound sophomore. Came upfield, dipped underneath, got some pressure. Maybe got a hand on Dorsey, and that was enough to knock him down.
That was a pretty good sack. He one hand just threw him to the ground. Now, Ken Dorsey weighed about as much as this water bottle here. And was about 6'5", tall drink of water.
Your water bottle's gotten some love on the chat, by the way.
That's great.
No, I'm just saying, they appreciate the fact that you don't sell out to the companies that do the Yeti and things like that.
I used to, and I'd lose them, so I get yelled at. So, you know what? I'm just going to use these, and then if I lose it, it's whatever.
It's whatever. Yeah, you can buy another one.
People laugh at it, and I tell my students, I'm saving the environment for you. I'm not going to be around to see it. I'm trying to do solid for everybody else. Passing away in 2021, Mr. DMX.
First we gonna rock, then we gonna roll, then we let it pop, don't let it go. X gon' give it to ya, he gon' give it to ya. X gon' give it to ya, he gon' give it to ya. First we gonna.
You want to hear a story about
sad,
that?
man. He got addicted to meth, and it killed him.
Do you want to hear a DMX story in Vegas?
Did you see DMX?
No. In Vegas with my guys on a March Madness trip, and early morning from the late night, I had a situation, let's just say. I needed to sit down to go to the bathroom. Anyway, I go into this bathroom in the casino. Every stall is empty. Every single one. Okay. Right? I go to the very end where there is, it's accessible for other people. Not these people, but other people. It's a handicrapper, it's what we call it. But anyway, so I go in there.
Handicap stall.
Yes. I decide to use that one.
Sure.
Look, dude, you get a little more space. A little more comfortable. So everyone's empty except for that one.
And you're
all of them empty. I go to that one. I sit down. I've got my flip phone that had music on it too, by the way. Anyway, 5 minutes in, somebody needs to use it. Because they come down and I hear them pulling on the door. I'm acting like there's no one in there. Even though you can see my legs. And all of a sudden.
Why don't you say, excuse me?
Well, anyway, because I felt guilty already. DMX starts playing on my phone. Dun, 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 dun. So I was outed, even though trying to be coy about it.
What did they think? That you? How did you plan on exiting that?
I know. I could have climbed over. They wouldn't have seen me.
Oh, yeah, because that wouldn't have been.
Or gone under.
Even better.
So anyway, there was 13 stalls. I used the 13th one. The only one that
I'm
guy
glad
could have used.
You felt guilt about that.
I did feel guilt
about it. The question is, did it change your behavior moving forward?
Yeah, I don't do it anymore.
Okay, well, then that's good. Objective achieved.
Dun, 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 dun.
And in 2022, 4 years ago, he passed on the same day as well, Mr. Dwayne Haskins.
The great Ohio State quarterback J.T. Barrett is down. So here we go. Backup quarterback Dwayne Haskins, 6'3", 214. A redshirt freshman from Potomac, Maryland. In the game for J.T. Barrett. Third down and 13 at the 47. Haskins delivers. And what a catch and what a throw. Austin Mack somehow held on. But Haskins put that ball between two defenders.
I mean, just an incredible throw from Dwayne Haskins.
Right off the bench, man. Bang that thing to Austin Mack. Little skinny bang 8, in cut. I forgot it was 13. I thought it was 3rd and 7. Good for him. Some holidays and observances today. It is, come on. Sorry, my computer's seizing up on me, which isn't good. No one likes a seizure. It is Appomattox Day or Appomattox Day.
Either way,
you
yes.
are
Hippopotamus.
Thitoff, it is the last day of Passover. It is alcohol screening day, National Dive Bar Day. How about that? National Gin and Tonic Day, and Unicorn Day. And those are your historical events, your birthdays, your passings, your holidays, observances for this date, April 9th, the second Thursday of the month, the 99th day of the year, 266 remaining this 2026.
Buckeyes hit the field yesterday. I'm sorry. Well done as always, General. Buckeyes hit the field yesterday. We'll hear what Devin Sanchez had to say. We'll do that next. Morning Juice.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have zero-turn, skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family-owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons located in Mount Sterling and Marysville, or online at greenandsons.com for all your Kubota needs.
I'm Brianna Albizu, traffic anchor for 10 TV News this morning. Columbus is quickly becoming my home, and this community has welcomed me with open arms. My mission is simple, to help you get to where you're going quickly and safely. Whether it's helping you beat the slowdown on 270 or giving you detours around major construction, we've got you covered. Because when your morning's on the move, so are we. Make the move to 10 TV News this morning, weekdays from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
You know a thing or two about the moments in life that matter. You've seized those moments to embrace joy, accomplish great things, and build meaningful relationships. Is it time now to sit back and reflect on a life well lived? Maybe. Or maybe there's more to be done. Maybe this is the most important moment you've encountered yet. By volunteering with AmeriCorps Seniors, you can seize the moment, lend a hand, and get back more than you give. We connect you to local volunteer organizations with opportunities that fit your schedule and match your interests. Through AmeriCorps Seniors, you can support people in times of need and make your community stronger. You can become a companion to your older neighbors, brightening their days with friendship. You can even become a mentor for young people, serving as a role model and enriching their lives. Are you ready to seize your moment? Visit AmeriCorps.gov/yourmoment and get started today.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
Nathan has taught me to embrace the moment. Age-wise, I'm in my late 60s. I'm old enough to be his grandfather. Will he be embarrassed to acknowledge me as his dad? I think the most important thing we can do is let them know that they're safe, that they're valued and cared for and loved, and that they're important.
I knew I wanted to be adopted by him because of how he taught me to be the person who I am today. And it's coming from a dad that didn't expect to become a dad. And I feel very proud to be his son.
I was what he needed, and he was what I needed. Every day is full of new opportunities. That's what it's been about, realizing the simple things that it takes to make such a huge difference in these kids' lives.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care at adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
One man is a national champion, NFL veteran, and local business leader. The other man is Tito. This is Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
All right, Morning Juice, Tito, Bobby, Brody. We've got Albert Breer in the second hour. We also have Ya Highness in the second hour. Great show lined up for you today. Bob, you were at practice yesterday.
So I popped through practice.
Okay.
I wasn't there very long.
Anything
I had to teach.
Jump out, stand out, anything happen that you're like, oh, wow?
No.
Okay. That's fair. One of the big questions about this season coming in is how they will replace some of these outstanding players on defense. As a matter of fact, 3, right? Reese, Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs.
Mm-hmm.
3 will probably go in the top 10. May have 4 first-round picks, Bob. Fair?
Yeah, 5.
No, and 4 left from the defense.
Yeah.
Devin Sanchez talked about who's filling the void of Caleb Downs. Here is defensive back Devin Sanchez.
I think it's Jalen McClain. Jalen's being real vocal out there. He's talking. He's leading the secondary. If somebody messes up, on the coverage, he makes them right. So I feel like it's definitely Jalen McClain, but Earl Little is definitely that too. He comes down, he sets the tone. He'll go smack a running back right in the face, and then he'll just come back and talk to you, let you hear it. So I feel like it's both safeties.
So Bob, if let's just say Caleb Downs was an slightly above average talent. He's elite, but let's say he was slightly above average.
Okay. I like this hypothetical that you're posing, because I'm trying to figure out where and why you're doing it.
Pro here, Bob. Well, only I get paid to do it. But anyway, if he was just slightly above average, his voice is still very important on that team last year, correct? Like still a leader, not just by talent alone, but what he does on the defense, though, is still very important.
That position is going to be important, and so you've got to be the traffic cop back there, running air traffic control sometimes.
Right.
So, yeah, it would have been important. I mean, he's a smart guy, so, yes, his understanding of what was going on in the defense, yeah, that's critical, I would say.
I'm amazed how much he wasn't publicly out there.
Who?
Caleb Downs.
Why?
I'm just saying, I feel like he's a guy who I think, because you look at his talent level plus his leadership that's relied on for Ohio State, a very important person on that defense. But I don't remember hearing from him much last year, like publicly. You know what I mean? Like, I don't remember hearing much about him. Did you? Am I wrong on
You
that?
mean hearing from him or hearing
Yes,
about him?
Hearing from him. About him, we heard a lot.
Okay.
But from him, though,
There's
not a whole
difference
lot.
in that.
Sure.
And that's a personal preference thing. I mean, Caleb talks a lot on the field.
Yeah.
He's a great guy to have conversations with. He's very smart and articulate, but I don't know if he's somebody that craves media attention. I know that might be difficult for you to understand.
No, Bob, see, I'm not making it personal, Bob.
Well, you're saying it's amazing that why couldn't you imagine that there are people out there that don't like to talk to the media?
It is, okay, Bob.
Like Ricky Williams.
What Ricky Williams?
He never liked to do interviews.
He didn't like to do them. He still did them, though.
Because you had to in the NFL. You get fined.
Yes, you get fined. I'm sure you don't get fined. I get that, Bob. I'm just saying.
In college, you don't get forced to do them. They can't.
Let me go back to the year before that. Lathan Ransom.
Ransom is a guy who enjoys being out in the media. He enjoys his public being available to the public. Yeah. Not all people are like that.
This isn't a criticism of Caleb Downs. I'm just saying, Lathan Ransom, though, like we had him on the show a few times.
I'm not saying it's a criticism. I'm just telling you it's a personal preference thing. And you're like, I'm amazed that he wasn't out. I don't understand why.
Because I thought he would be. I thought that he would be more based on how much or how good he was and how important he was.
What does how good somebody is have to do with how much they like speaking publicly?
Because I think most people that are elite athletes, elite college athletes.
I just mentioned Ricky Williams to you.
I know. Most people I'm saying.
How much do we hear from Jeremiah Smith?
I think more this offseason than other ones.
Because they're they're encouraging him to get out there.
Sure.
The last 2 years.
Yeah.
How much
not a lot of Jeremiah. No, you're absolutely right. Not a lot of Jeremiah Smith.
Okay, so I would put him in the Caleb Downs player category.
Minority though, right? Minority as far as
you don't need to point at Bodie either.
Okay, I'm saying, well, he was going to look at me and smile. But minority though, as far as most people that have elite athletic talent at Ohio.
How much did you hear from Carnell Tate?
A little more later on. Early on, not so much. That's all. I'm just saying, I think that Caleb Downs, though, is a unicorn's the wrong word to use. But because he is so damn talented and such a great leader, I'm just saying that I thought that I would hear more from Caleb Downs than I did. That's all. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, Bob.
I know. I understand that. And that's an okay thought. My problem is the correlation that you make to talent on the field to someone's desire to have their life and persona be more public. Because there are a lot of guys where that's not the case. There are guys who just want to be able to do their job.
Right.
And then go be a private person. They don't need to be out in front of a camera. They don't need to be in front of a microphone to justify their existence.
I don't think I could put Caleb Downs out of a lineup. Yeah. Do you think most people most Ohio State fans could pick him out of a lineup without the helmet on?
Oh, I don't know. I see those guys every day, so my opinion on that is warped a little bit. So I'm not a good person to ask, but that's okay. That's probably the way he wants it.
He
has a podcast that he does with his brother,
right?
And that's kind of what he does.
I'm excited though to see about what this defense does, and I know that
I'm sorry I shut down your theory there.
No, you didn't shoot it down. Bob, it's just a difference of opinion. Not difference of opinion, difference of perspective. I get it that you see these guys every day, and you see them without helmets every day. You talk to them. Not every day, but a lot of times.
Just talking to him, he's not somebody that you can tell desires to be the center of attention.
Which I love that about him. I do. I'm just surprised. I'm just saying that if there's somebody from Ohio State's team last year that could be a more vocal and more out there guy, it'd be him. I'm not saying he should be. I'm just saying, but he earned that right, if that makes sense.
Well, yeah, you earned the right, but that doesn't mean that that's what he wants to be.
Right. No, I got you. Devin Sanchez also talking about the goals for the season and for his career. Here's Devin.
Do better than I did last year, for one. I want to be a Thorpe finalist. I want to win a Thorpe for sure. I want to be an All-American. I want to be a Big Ten All-American. I want to be Big Ten DB of the Year. So it's a lot of things that I have on the table that I want to accomplish.
So Devin Sanchez doing that, and I'm excited about this year with him. He's got a chance to really be an upfront vocal leader on this team.
Yeah. Oh.
Right? Where am I wrong?
I don't know why you would feel the need to go there and push that out on him.
A vocal leader?
Yeah, say like he needs to be that, or he's going to be that.
He's got an opportunity to be that.
I don't know if that's necessarily.
Okay. Defensive back-wise, defensive backfield, cornerbacks and safeties. Who is the one you think would be, could be, should be the vocal leader of that?
Would be, could be, should be. Like those are a lot of different questions there. I mean, and when you say vocal leader, I mean the guy that talks to the media. Because that's what you're alluding to with Caleb.
With Caleb, well, because that's the one thing I didn't see from Caleb.
That's not what you needed to see either. Like, you act like I needed. The one thing I didn't see from him is if like that's a
no, not a negative. No, I'm not going to ding him for it. But I'm just saying though, Bob, is there somebody you think
the safeties need to be the ones that communicate? Corners, it's not essential. They're on the edge of the defense. They get information passed to them, and they can talk to the safeties. But the safeties are the ones that run traffic cop.
Okay. All right.
Do you need a bank that truly values local business in this town and the opportunity to work alongside them as partners, whether you're a small business or a large operation? Riverside Bank of Dublin has the right tools for the job. Riverside Bank of Dublin has the experience of working in Central Ohio. They understand the business climate in our area and will help you reach your goals. Whether you need an SBA loan to get your business off the ground, a line of credit to keep it running smoothly, or just equipment financing to get your business up to scale, Riverside Bank will tailor a solution that fits your needs. Visit them at riverside.bank or stop in to get to know them in person at 6300 France Road. Riverside Bank of Dublin, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Quick hitters next. Morning Juice.
This wasn't how Patrick pictured himself in retirement. Instead of playing golf every day, he could barely walk because of his severe knee pain.
It hampered everything because it hurt to walk around the golf course. It hurt to swing, just pretty much hurt doing anything.
But the groundbreaking regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics changed everything for Patrick. QC Kinetics uses your body's own healing properties to help repair and restore damaged tissue in your knees, hips, back, and shoulders. No surgery, no drugs, no downtime.
The turnaround's been amazing from where I was to where I am now. I've gone from a 15 handicap down to a 7 handicap. That's because my knees allow me to play golf like I haven't been able to play probably in 15 years.
Don't let joint pain keep you from doing what you love. Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
I'm Meredith Garfalo, meteorologist at 10 TV News This Morning, and I'm an Ohio girl. I love golf, aerospace, and all things Ohio sports. For nearly 20 years, I've studied the patterns that shape our days, from winter wonders on the south side to dangerous storms along the I-71 corridor. When the weather changes, you'll be the first to know, because you need a forecast that moves as fast as you do. Make the move to 10 TV News This Morning, weekdays from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
You served behind the desk.
You served in combat.
You did 4 years and got out.
You were drafted.
You gave 20 years.
You gave exactly what your country needed.
And so did you.
When you raised your hand and swore an oath to your country, when you put your name on a dotted line, you became part of only 1% of Americans who did the same. You are a veteran.
You are a veteran.
You are a veteran. Because no matter when, where, or how you served, you made a sacrifice for your country, and you deserve support.
If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait. Reach out.
Reach out to a loved one, to a fellow veteran, to VA.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Your child is sick. With those 4 words, the innocence and joy of childhood disappears. But Starlight has taught us 4 other words that make all the difference. The power of play. Happy kids heal faster. That's why Starlight Children's Foundation delivers happiness through gaming, toy deliveries, and more to hospitals across the country. Learn more at starlight.org.
Bobby Carpenter, husband, father, Buckeye. Jeff Thitoff, husband, father, idiot. This is Morning Juice.
Morning Juice. 3 segments in. 2 segments in, Bo. Let's make the 3rd segment. Let's do it.
Morning Juice presents Quick Hitters.
All right, fellas, happy Thursday. Second best day of the work week. We'll start a little bit of college football here. If you guys want some more Gus Johnson in your life, boy, do I have some good news for you. Joe Flynn of the Wall Street Journal has reported that NBC is set to sell this season's Big Ten championship game over to Fox Sports, over to Gus and Joel for about $45 to $55 million. Plus, NBC is going to get some regular season games in that trade there. The Big Ten title game is aired on Fox every season with the exception of just one time since its inception back in 2011. 2 years ago, we saw Oregon beat Penn State in the title tilt over on CBS Sports with Brad and who am I blanking on? The
Brad
former Purdue
Nessler
quarterback.
And
Gary Danielson.
Gary
Yep, there it was. I saw his face in my head, couldn't get the name. Tito, Ohio State has to make it back to that game, of course, but Buckeye fans, they have come to love and maybe sort of hate Gus Johnson and Joel Klatt.
You want barbecue with that?
Okay, so
why are you yelling at me, Gus?
Yeah, it's 3rd and 8. The score's 45 to nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that it's less about Gus Johnson.
Not to him, it's not.
No, what I'm saying is, Bob, wait.
Except for that Nebraska game this year, he's like, why are we back here again?
When it comes
3 weeks in a row, this game stinks.
When it comes to Buckeye fans and their thoughts of Gus Johnson, I think at 4:20 p.m. Going to the Ya Highness there. Late afternoon or early evening, I think Buckeye fans are fine hearing Gus Johnson's voice. They don't want to hear it at 12:08 p.m. I think it's more about that, Bob, than about, like, I think I'm okay with Gus Johnson. And I've told you before, Bob, the announcers, it does not affect how I consume the product.
Well, when they're screaming at you, and Gus gets a little gussy, if you will.
Gussy.
And he yells a lot. I don't need that anymore. And he makes it about him. So I like Joel.
Joel's good.
I used to like Gus. And maybe now it's just overexposure.
That's probably, I think, too, with Gus.
It was small doses.
He's probably somebody who...
I don't need to drink a whole glass of tequila at one time, but I do enjoy a shot. They're like a small pour.
There you go. I think with Gus, too, he kind of has, like, gotten elevated to maybe a role that he's, I'll say, underqualified for.
Okay.
I don't know that he needs to be the guy on what has become one of the biggest games every Saturday.
Right.
Because Fox, the Big Noon kickoff is like, that's become one of the biggest games every Saturday for the last handful of years now. And even, I guess, some weeks it's not a big game because Ohio State will be playing the Purdue's of the world. It's like, hey, Big Noon kickoff.
Right.
But it's like, I don't know. Does that make sense, though?
Yeah, but...
Like, when Mike Breen's on the call of an NBA game, I'm like, this should be a big game. When it's Dave Pasch, and I think Dave's really good, but he's not Mike Breen, and it should be probably kind of a smaller game.
So, okay, the three of us then. Am I the unicorn here? That the announcers don't affect at all how I consume the game.
They don't impact it, but, like, they just get so... Some of the guys, they impact the game because they detract from it. There are certain people that there's so much of it. I'm like, you're the icing on the cake. Like, I don't need a cake full of icing. And I think that they get confused with that. Like, dude, we're trying to slather 2 inches worth of icing on here. I love icing, But I love like an appropriate amount. I don't need to eat it out of the tub.
And I think, too, it's like, yeah, that's a really good analogy, Bob, because it's like they're just supposed to be there to like help elevate the game.
Right.
And
Yes.
there are plenty who take away from it.
Okay.
And I'm somebody, and everybody's probably a little bit different, but like I don't want to watch the game on mute. I want to hear the crowd and hear the reactions and whatnot. And I think too often, and I'll be honest too, and you know, I don't know, I might get a little bit of hate for saying this, but I also think in recent years, and I like Joel Klatt, but I also think he's gotten pretty guilty of like, well, ESPN's just going to love the SEC, so I'm just going to tell you how amazing the Big Ten is. And like, I know they've won the last 3 national championships, but it's just like, I don't need week 6 between Michigan and Northwestern to hear about how this Michigan team could kill Alabama by 21. Like, it's, you know, it's October 14th.
Okay, Ohio State plays USC on October 31st this year. They play on Halloween at USC.
Mm-hmm.
If you tell me the game is being broadcast with announcers Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg, or you say Keith Jackson and Bob Greasy, I'm watching regardless.
Yeah,
it doesn't mean you're not watching it. It doesn't mean that it's going to detract from your.
But
it's going to detract
can
from
make
your
it better
experience.
or worse.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. I don't. Maybe it's where we're different. That's why I'm asking with Unicorn or not, because it doesn't affect how I enjoy the game.
Do you typically not listen to the game? I'm not saying that.
No,
Are you like around people? Like, because I'm somebody who like I want to hear the announcers like tell me,
give me a nugget.
Yes, like give me more information. And the thing is too is like I also am not one of these people who always expects the announcers to know as much as I do about my team. I always think it's a little silly when like maybe a guy slightly mispronounces a name, or like you know maybe says the wrong class for the player, and it's like, well, of course you know more. Like even Dan Hicks, who does every Notre Dame home game, how like Dan Hicks doesn't live it like I live it, but it's like
Chimetti.
Yeah, exactly, and like little stuff is fine, but. You know, when Gus Johnson is screaming about, you know, 2nd and 10 in the first quarter, or you know, I'm lucky enough to hear Jason Garrett just not to let the game breathe at all because he cannot stop talking. Like, it's going to make the 3.5 hours that I have to spend with you every Saturday a little bit worse.
Spend with you.
Okay, so
listen, Bob, I already had a decade with him on the sidelines in Arlington.
I
don't
think
need
that
him
bias
anymore.
might be creeping into.
I can't roll it out. Yeah, I won't roll that out.
So when I look at so this is probably where we're at then, because typically for Ohio State football games, I'm watching it in a group environment. We've got friends that come over, we go to their house, whatever. There's like
so the noise drowns it out.
Yeah, I would say that there's 7 to 12 people watching at the same time, and we are talking collectively every play. I might be Gus Johnson. Yeah, that's fine.
I was waiting for that where Jeff overtalks.
Here we go.
commentators.
Look at this. Oh my gosh, how can you let that happen? Okay. Then maybe that's it, Bob. Maybe it's because I'm Gus Johnson. But if I'm watching it by myself, if I'm in a room where the door's locked, I'm blindfolded. No, that's a different room. But I'm watching the game, though, Bob. Then yes,
Well, that was a closet.
It could be a Bob. Listen, in a closet, a 12-inch TV looks really big if you're in a closet. But nonetheless, just look at the Michael Scott thing. It's plasma.
Push it back into the wall.
Right. Then maybe that's what it is, Bob. But I don't my enjoyment of the game is rarely based on the announcer.
I would equate the announcer to the server at a restaurant. You're there for the food. They can enhance the experience or they can detract from it.
I think that's
if
fair.
you have like someone that's just like, meh, stuff's kind of coming on time.
Okay.
And everything's good, like, okay, that was fine. If you have someone there that's explaining everything, maybe cracks a joke, they read the room, like they're really attentive, they're great, like that's awesome. You have someone there that's a jerk, you're like, the food was good, but I really didn't have a good time. You know?
So should we lower Gus's rate to minimum wage and he should get paid
on
based off tips?
That would be a great thing. Like, hey, that's a great nugget. Like, boom, this is great points.
I'm sure the higher ups at Fox would be like, save us a few $1,000 on the end of the year revenue there.
Be awesome.
Or spending, I guess I should say.
You know me, Bob. I'm not some kind of shill who just like caters to WII-FM. But David brings a good point. Just turn the sound down and listen to Paul Keels and Jim Lachey.
I understand that, but when
the inconvenience of that, I'm
the
just going to be
inconvenience
honest.
of it, and the fact that it's not timed up.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, the inconvenience to get it timed up.
Just pause.
And I know.
Believe me, because that happens in here, and you get the live feed
Yes.
direct.
Oh, yeah.
And then you're like 20 seconds ahead.
You're way
and you're
ahead, yeah.
Waiting and watching. Like,
Yeah. Now, are you somebody in this crowd of people, Tito, that is yelling and screaming at the television, making comments, not saying anything?
I do.
I think I'm probably terrible to watch a game with. I'm not gonna lie. If
Okay.
it's my favorite team.
Okay, if it's Notre Dame.
Neutral.
If it's Notre Dame, I got to believe you're tough to watch with.
Probably.
I get it.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Okay, I don't think I am. I am eternally optimistic. When
you've seen 3 national championships.
look, and
we're living in different worlds that off.
I remember, Bob, I was at a mutual friends of ours' house when Ohio State played Miami this past season.
Mm-hmm.
And at halftime, it was time for nighty-night, so I had to leave. But as I'm leaving, I'm telling everybody, oh, this is fine. Ohio State's good. They're going to be great. Not a big deal. You know, other people are like, oh, sky is falling. You know?
Yeah. There are
and I'm
some
like,
people
dude, no, listen, I've seen this team. We're good. We're good. I am eternally optimistic, Bob, about games like that. I believe Ohio State, I don't care if they're down 38-0 at halftime.
Wow.
Listen, Ryan Day's going to make adjustments. They're going to do it.
They're gonna do it.
I look at pathways to win. I can't watch. I have a hard time watching Ohio State games with people that are very passionate yet not the most knowledgeable,
Sure.
and then
Yeah.
become very negative. That's where I have real issues. Like I remember watching the Georgia game 2 years ago, and the Georgia's driving down like we're gonna get killed like the SEC like we always do. I'm like they haven't even scored yet.
Right.
It's just, then we home to a field goal. Like okay, that's not bad. And then we went and scored. Like we're gonna win. I'm like I can't do this. I can't do this. The roller coaster of emotion where you're like we're done. We can't look at this. We can't even stop them.
Never been more back.
They haven't scored at all. Oh wait,
Right.
we home to a field goal. Not bad. And then it was like CJ out there's like down the field and they're like, yes!
Son of a gun.
And I'm like, oh, I can't. It's too much. Living on the poles of existence here it's going to kill me.
I think too. I gotta be honest. If you're an Ohio State fan and you're like Mr. like glass half empty, that's
annoying.
Like this isn't 1998 anymore. No offense, man. Like it's be arrogant. Frankly,
Sure.
you've kind of earned the right
Yes.
to expect to win, and that's fine. And that's not always the most pleasurable thing to deal with either. But this idea that it's like we're just screwed. It's like based off of what?
Right. It's the first quarter.
The last 25 years, because I know Georgia at that time was still pretty good too, but you guys had C.J. Stroud on your side as well, and you were 11-1.
And also, no offense to Notre Dame, we had God on our side. Coming up next, Albert Breer will join us. Morning Juice.
I'm Tracy Townsend, anchor at 10 TV News this morning. This community is my home, and it means everything to me. I care deeply about the stories we bring you each day, especially the ones that truly impact your life, from women's health and advocacy to the decisions happening at the State House. My goal is simple: help you feel informed and connected, because when news moves fast, you need a team that moves with you. Make the move to 10 TV News this morning, weekdays from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
What does it mean to give 100%? It means giving everything you've got, every single day. That's why the V Foundation gives 100% of every dollar donated directly to cancer research. So no matter what you give, we give 100% for life-saving research victories, 100% to making new discoveries that lead to innovative treatments, 100% to groundbreaking cancer research that could one day save someone you love. We know cancer research is working. Over the last 30 years, an estimated 4.5 million lives have been saved thanks to game-changing research breakthroughs. But there is more work to do. That's why the V Foundation gives 100% of every dollar donated directly to cancer research. We will always give 100% to accelerate victory over cancer.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Donate today at v.org.
We are the keepers of the wild, America's original and most invested conservationists. For more than 80 years, we've been committed to conserving wildlife and the natural landscapes that define our nation. From rugged alpine ridgelines to peaceful tall grass prairies, we've supported the conservation of more than 36 million acres of American wildlands. Our funding has led to cleaner water, fresher air, and improved wildlife habitat. From abundant fish and waterfowl populations to robust deer and elk herds, nothing is more important than maintaining wild spaces for adventurers to explore and wildlife to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters, stewards of the American outdoors.
America's hunters and target shooters, along with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, have invested more than $46 billion to help state fish and wildlife agencies manage and protect wildlife and wildlands across America. For more information, visit outdoorstewards.org.
Wildlife around the globe needs help. And when you help protect them, you become a friend of the San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance.
Thank you for being a friend.
Travel down the road and back again.
Your heart is true, you're a pal and a confidant.
Thank you for helping protect wildlife around the globe. Without you, there's no them. Learn more at sdzwa.org/friend.
Proud to be your go-to sports addiction.
WBNS, WBNS-FM, HD3 Columbus.
The Fan 3, Ohio sports destination. Attack and dominate. You're locked into Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
Did we reach consensus on this or not?
I don't know if a consensus will ever be reached on something like this.
Like, I will watch Monday Night Football regardless who the announcers are.
I'm going to watch the game.
Right.
Yeah, but don't you feel like I feel like Monday Night Football games in the last, whatever it's been now, 2-3 years with Buck and Aikman, like the game just feels bigger and better versus, and, you know, ESPN kind of went through quite a run there on Monday Night Football announcers after Tirico left.
Yeah,
and
they had like.
It was Mike Tirico and John Gruden.
Yeah, they had Booger like on the
the Boogermobile.
On the Boogermobile
that was
where he would
awesome.
slide around.
Yeah,
but even before that, though.
Jason went and regrew his hair to join Monday Night Football for a year there.
Even that, though, bro, like going back, there was when they brought in Kornheiser and Dennis Miller with.
I love that.
Okay, I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed Dennis Miller's just historical it was a comedian in there who just liked football.
It was forced, but it was entertaining, I thought. I didn't hate it. And then Kornheiser left and it was just Miller for a moment.
Kornheiser can get a little snarky, and I didn't always like that.
Aaron Portensline ruined Tony Kornheiser for me.
Why?
Because I admittedly, Bob, have seen, among all shows in my life, there's two shows I've seen every episode of. One is Seinfeld.
Okay.
The other is PTI.
I don't know if you can make that statement about PTI.
Why not?
Because they don't you could see reruns of Seinfeld through syndication and everything else. And that was on once a week. Mm-hmm. You're telling me that you've seen every show that's been on for 20 years?
More than 20. Yeah. I've seen every episode of PTI, Bob. Every episode.
In its entirety?
In its entirety. I've seen every episode of PTI.
That can't, either you're lying, you're misremembering, or that's the most sad thing I've ever heard. Those are the only three options.
Okay, it could be two of the three. Bob, I've seen every episode of PTI. I have.
You're telling me you've never been in a car or anything else? Because, do you DVR them then?
Yes. I DVR
What about
them.
before there was, DVR capabilities? Then what would you do? You're telling me you never had, a flight or a kid's game or anything, a practice you had to go pick someone up
I
from?
may have gone back and watched it.
How? Are you recording it with a VHS?
I don't think it was VHS, Bob. I think it's always been DVR. I do believe.
I don't think there was DVR back when the show started.
There was not. I promise you that.
There wasn't TiVo?
You're telling me you had
Isn't that the
TiVo?
same
I did have TiVo, yes.
I think it is the same thing.
Okay. I'm saying, though, go back and look when PTI started. It started in the 2000s.
That's right.
Okay. You're telling me you don't think this is
2001.
2001.
There's no way.
Bob, I've seen every episode.
I'm telling you right now, you may in your mind have convinced yourself of that.
According to Wikipedia, which is never wrong, there's been, it doesn't even say a number, it just says 3,000 plus. I don't know when that was last updated.
I know my truth. Anyway, my point being, why he ruined it for me. I love Kornheiser. I love Wilbon. Porty tells me one time he went to a Final Four and they had like the pre-Final Four press conference. Kornheiser's in there, and he looks over to his left, was an intern with the Washington Post at the time. And Kornheiser says, before the thing even starts, I don't have time for this. Take the notes, let me know what happens, and walks out of the room. And I lost respect for Kornheiser there, and it stuck with me.
I told you, he's kind of snarky. He used to come to our practices and stuff.
Did he really?
Yeah, because he would be covering the games.
Okay.
And he was kind of a jerk.
See, now you're going to ruin it for me more, Bob. I want to like Kornheiser. I want to like PTI.
It's all right. You can like him.
TiVo came out in 1999, so technically 2 years before.
Thank you.
I still don't believe that this was accurate, though.
Bob, I have seen every episode. Why would I brag about that? There's a lot of things I could brag about.
Because I think that
You think I'm... Okay, wait. Do you think I'm deliberately lying, or do you think I'm just wrong?
I think you're misremembering it, is what it is.
I'm guessing you've seen
I would
80%.
say I will give you even 99%.
Oh.
But if you're telling me that days your kids were born and things like that you went back and watched PTI...
Bob, do you think that kids' births affects my TV watching?
I would hope.
No, it doesn't. When Artie was born, that day, I did a show with Shark.
Yeah, I did that too with my daughter and one son.
If you'd have known when Artie was born, that'd have been more impressive. But nonetheless, yes, when Artie was born, I did a show that day. Kids being born does not affect my TV viewing. Let's ask this guy. Albert Breer joins us, MMQB. Albert, good morning. The birth of a child, has it affected your work schedule ever?
You mean like when they're born and taking leave?
Yes, or did you let's say your kid's born and something happens in the NFL. You still report it, right?
Right. So when my first was born, 2014, and I think it was, if I remember right, it was like God, this is bad that I don't remember this, right? I think it was a Friday. And then I was sort of back to work middle of the next week. And then I was on the road to Buffalo for a game the following Saturday, I think. And then my other two kids were born during training camp, and I took probably less than a week.
Okay, so when my first kid was born, I remember being in the hospital and watching. It was that Green Bay Packers, Minnesota Vikings Monday night game where the catch was made in overtime. Okay, I remember that vividly. Did you and your wife plan conception of children based on the calendar of NFL?
No, not really.
Okay.
It would have been too short a window for it to have been ideal. And that's tough to plan, and I just honestly, was it best that it happened? Having one of them during the season was actually better than training camp, to be honest. Training camp was harder because I was on the road for 3 weeks and then came home for the birth. And so it's could this, if it had happened earlier, I would have been in a weird spot. So, but I still saw whatever those years, all the teams I needed to see and all of that. I don't know. I guess maybe I'm old school with this stuff, but I really, the only time I was completely off the clock was when I was in the hospital, and even then, if something happens, you can kind of see. Now my wedding was based on the calendar, and my wedding, I think a lot of NFL people get married in that mid-June to late June window. And so I got married at the beginning of that window so we could go on our honeymoon after. So the wedding was based on the NFL calendar, but the kids weren't.
Okay. That's good to hear. Thitoff is claiming, Breer, that he's seen every episode of PTI, which there's been over 3,000 on a daily.
You saw every episode?
Every single
That's
episode,
what he's
yes,
claiming. I'm claiming BS.
That seems unrealistic.
Exactly. Thank you.
Is that how this came up? You were in the hospital and you your kid was just born and you're hold on a second. I gotta check in on what Wilbon and Kornheiser think about what happened in the Yankees game last night.
Yes.
It's amazing. Believe me. It's pretty remarkable.
I know
Breer.
my truth.
All right. On to some NFL news. A lot of draft stuff swirling around. Everything going on there. Obviously, some stuff going on contractually with the Giants. Well, what is, in your mind, the biggest story in the NFL right now? Well,
Oh, wait. Okay, let's go just on field or in.
Yeah.
Let's be careful on this one, Albert.
Yeah, no. I would say, I mean, I think the biggest lingering story is probably Aaron Rodgers as far as like impact on the field. And then, AJ Brown, I think, is like the other loose end that's out there that could be tied up. When we get to June, you could be looking at like a timeline like you had with Julio Jones when he was traded from Atlanta to Tennessee 5 years ago. And then I think draft-wise, it's sort of just an unpredictable draft at the top because, I've said this to you guys before, but, I don't think you have like the Myles Garrett defensive end or the Calvin Johnson receiver or the Patrick Surtain type of corner or the Joe Alt like left tackle. So, I think because of that, there's a little bit more just ambiguity in who's going to go in front of who, like with the pass rushers, I think you kind of have to compromise a little bit on each of them. Like there's, maybe something that you got to wrap your head around with each of them. And then you got like a few guys like Jeremiah Love and Sonny Styles and Caleb Downs that play non-premium positions, but are really, really high-end prospects. So, draft-wise, I think there's a little bit more volatility towards the top than you normally see.
Does Aaron Rodgers have the Steelers over a barrel now? The fact that there's not, Cousins is gone now.
Yeah, the Cousins thing. I think I came on with you guys last night and said the Cousins thing gives them some soft landing. I don't think Cousins made his decision based on, I know that Aaron Rodgers is going back to Pittsburgh. But, the Steelers have been pretty, I would say, the Steelers have been – I would say pretty content with where they're at quarterback. And, their depth chart now looks the same as it looked last May, where it's, Mason Rudolph and Will Howard. And, I think the communication between Aaron and the Steelers is what makes them comfortable. And like last year, for example, when they went through this, and you didn't hear a lot at this time of in the calendar either. Aaron was talking to Mike Tomlin every week. He was in communication with Arthur Smith, who was the offensive coordinator at the time. They had an idea of who they were building for. Now, like they didn't know for sure they were going to get him, but they had an idea of who and what they were trying to build. And so. I think if that was the case last year, it's fair to assume that because there is an existing established relationship with Mike McCarthy, Mike's got an idea of where all of this stands right now. And, the fact that the Steelers haven't been overly anxious about acquiring quarterbacks, I think tells you where they are.
What do you think ultimately happens with Dexter Lawrence in New York?
It's a good question, Bobby. I think it's, I think it's part of like what's becoming a new trend, which is, when, big time players on big time contracts reach the point in those deals when the guaranteed money is run out, they go back to the table. And it makes sense if you think about it. Like if you think about all these things as like insurance against injury, right? So Dexter Lawrence signed a 4-year extension, 5-year deal total. And there were 3 years with guarantees in it, right? And so, for those 3 years, he's protected, right? And then you reach the point in the contract where if anything had gone wrong, the team would have the leeway to walk away. And there's no question that if Dexter Lawrence had some sort of serious injury that was going to take him out, whatever, affect what sort of player he is going forward, the Giants would exercise that injury protection that they have now. So if you're a player and you make it through those 3 years, and you've exhausted the injury protection and you are still healthy and ready to roll, well then, it makes sense that that's when you would go looking for more injury protection. So I think that's sort of where he is. And, looking at, who he is as a player, 2 years ago, he had a fantastic year, 9 sacks in just 12 games, had a season-ending injury. Wasn't quite the same last year. He's going to turn 29 years old here soon. And I think for him, this is kind of the last bite at the apple. So, I think getting the trade request out there at least allows for the Giants to gauge his value a little bit. allows for, Dexter Lawrence to see if any other team is out there willing to give him, the sort of contract maybe the Giants won't at this stage of his career. And, then I think when you get through that, and it sounds weird because like everybody thinks of these things as like, oh, well, he wants out. That's not really it. Like, I think this is sort of a way for everybody to gauge where the market is. And then you go forward from there. My guess would be he's still on the Giants and probably on some sort of amended contract in 2026.
Albert Breer from MQE joins us here on Morning Juice. Albert, now the fall off the Max Crosby thing. Do you think the Raiders are still shopping Max Crosby, or are other teams trying to shop for Max Crosby?
No, I think the Raiders' plan is to go forward with him. And I think the reason why, guys, quite simply is at this point, what the Ravens did, I think had a chilling effect on his value, and here's the reason why. Because if you're another GM or you're another coach and you want to bring in Max Crosby, and let's just say for argument's sake, he has one really good year, and then the knee breaks down in 2027 and he's never the same, right? And you gave up 2 first-round picks for him, or a first-round pick and a third-round pick for him. How do you go to your owner? When everything that happened in March is out there, right? Like the Ravens failed him on his physical. The Ravens nixed a trade in, a borderline unprecedented move because they felt so uncomfortable with his knee. And now how do you explain that to your owner? That like, I was the guy who went forward and made this trade, and now a year later I'm left holding the bag. That's the problem. And that's what makes it hard for, that's what makes it hard for the Raiders to get the sort of value for him that would supersede, what they'll get just by having him on the team as a piece of the foundation as Clint Kubiak looks to build. So I think for now, he's on the team. I think he's on the team through the spring. I think he's on the team in training camp. And then, if he really crushes it over the first 8 weeks of the season and the Raiders still aren't very good, then I'd expect for phone calls to come in and maybe his value is reestablished then. But I don't think it'll happen now.
If the Bengals end up if Love falls to the Bengals and they draft him, or I guess, can they afford to take best available with as many needs as they have on defense?
Yes, but I think it narrows the path, Bobby, for fixing everything else that they have to fix, right? So they have a corner need. They have a pass rusher need. Like I think, for the Bengals looking at this just from a big picture perspective, like let's say, for example, they're looking at Mansour Delane, the corner from LSU, right? And so like you take him in the first round. Now you're going into the second round with a deep edge rusher class. It's like, okay, like now we can really dive in and look at like maybe even trading up from our spot in the second round or moving around in the third round. And it gives us some more flexibility where, I think if you do take Jeremiah Love, who's a special player, I don't think anybody's arguing that, it does sort of narrow the path to fixing the other things that you have on your roster. And you're a little bit more at mercy to however the board falls on day 2. And so you can do it. You just have to kind of come to the decision, I think, which is like, this guy is going to be such a difference maker for us on offense that it's going to make up for what we're giving up in, the opportunity to fix some things on our defense with the 10th overall pick. So, I would think of Downs, a Delane, Sonny, if he falls there, a Reuben Bain, like all those guys would probably be in play for the Bengals with the 10th overall pick. But if Jeremiah Love falls that far, again, like you look at the names, I actually have them in front of me. There have been 7 backs to go in the top 10 since 2013. It's Ashton Genty, Bijan Robinson, Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey, Leonard Fournette, Zeke Elliott, and Todd Gurley. A lot of those guys became really, really good players, and Love is seen as another one of those. And man, that'd be fun. The idea of Jeremiah Love out there with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins.
Albert, we'll get you on this one. One of the things I don't think you anticipated talking about today or any of the shows you do throughout the week. to verify the fact I've seen all 3,000 plus episodes of PTI. I'm putting the over-under on times you've been on PTI at 3.5. I will take the under. Am I correct if you've been on PTI less than 3.5 times?
I've never been on PTI.
Okay. I think that, Bob, that proves that I've seen all 3,000 episodes.
That doesn't prove.
Yeah, I mean, my stories have been on PTI. I think I've been mentioned on there a few times, but I've never actually been on PTI.
I don't think that proves anything.
I think it proves
It
a
actually
lot.
came out when I think it came out.
Probably your
I wanna
senior
say
year.
I was a senior.
Yeah.
I was a senior in college.
2001.
Yeah, I was a senior in college when it came. Yep. Because I remember it was like that. Like when I was at the school newspaper, and it was like kind of sports writers had been on TV before, and I'd always thought about like we're all going to have to learn how to do everything,
right?
You know, like we're all going to have to learn how to write and how to talk into a camera and how to talk for radio and all that different stuff. But that was like PTI coming out was kind of one of those things that brought it all together, you know? Like, so it was actually like a pretty pivotal time for me career-wise and choosing what I wanted to do and mapping things out. And so, yeah, I mean, Kornheiser and Wilbon were groundbreaking for sure.
So that and Sports Reporters, I remember around like a similar time. Like Sports Reporters is a huge deal too. Have you ever been approached
Yeah,
or
but Sports
considered
Reporters
doing
was
something
more, I
like
would say
that?
Sports Reporters was once a week, and it was like a rotating cast.
Sure.
Like these were like full-time jobs for these guys in television. You know what I mean? It was a little bit different. Like for me, it was like like my memory of this stuff was really Will McDonough. You know, who was sort of the godfather of football writing in New England, maybe the godfather of football writing across the country. Like just so plugged in. You know, I still remember when I was in high school, when Bill Parcells left the Patriots to go to the Jets. And Will McDonough, when you read what he was writing, it was like he was on the plane with Parcells. You know what I mean? Like, and it was like, that's always been kind of my standard is like, wow, like look at like the relationships he built and how he was able to get inside and tell the whole story. And but Willie was, if you guys remember, was on if I remember right, NBC.
He was.
There with O.J. Simpson, right?
Yeah, and the shoes, and the gloves.
Back in the day, But Willie was the standard for me. I got to meet him when I was in high school, actually, through some connections I had through a couple of football camps that I went to when I was a teenager, and he couldn't have been better. He was an awesome guy, and you know, obviously, a lot of people still watch his son call games, you know, and
sure.
you know, he was the guy though for me, no question.
So tomorrow's the 2-year anniversary of the Juice's passing. So pour one out for him tomorrow, Albert.
His Twitter account was something else.
Oh, gosh.
Hello, Twitter world. Hello, Twitter family. Hey, hey, Colin Kaepernick. Come on, man. You're killing me. Yes.
The search for the real killer goes forward. Yeah,
it continues. Albert, thanks for the time. We appreciate it. We'll talk again next week.
All right. Thanks, guys.
You bet. That was Albert Breer. Bob, I think you can. I feel now confident. Under 3.5. I got it right.
Well, I don't think that says anything. He never worked for ESPN, so generally only have people on there.
Peter King was on PTI.
He had been on PTI. He was
QBs. Peter King.
There's been a handful of guys, but they generally promote their own stuff.
I feel like, Bob, that I feel like I've won this argument.
That's like saying O.J. Simpson's never been on PTI. I feel confident in saying that.
Hello,
I've seen them all.
Okay.
I've seen them all. You know who else hasn't been on there? Princess Diana. Never on PTI. All right?
I don't think she's ever seen her.
Kurt Cobain. Never been on PTI.
But if I said Kurt Cobain over under a half, I'll take the under. That would justify the fact I've never seen Kurt Cobain on PTI.
I think the fact that you were 3.5 off the over under is kind of.
Yeah, I can't believe you put it at 3.5.
Well, Bob, I did that for a reason because I couldn't remember on that one.
Okay,
I'm just saying but the fact that if it would have been 4, then you could have said Tito. You haven't seen every episode.
I think if you were that close to the number of times,
it's more than 3,000 episodes, Bodie. I can't remember every single guest.
I'm just saying. You
Bob, you've seen every Game of Thrones. If I ask you what happened season 2, episode 4, you couldn't necessarily recall every character in it.
I don't know. Yes, Bodie. As long as I can triangulate where we're at there.
I was going to say, I think you'd be surprised. I mean, there was only, probably 70 or 80 episodes?
Yeah.
Roughly?
Have you seen every Office episode?
Yes.
Okay.
But that's complete. Like, there's not 3,000 of them. There's
right, which shows you how much I'm locked in here.
And it's daily topical things. Like, that's.
I feel like that adds to my argument. I feel like that makes me the winner. Coming up next, do the Buckeyes come close to losing a key player? We'll do that. Morning Juice.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter, and spring is here, and it's time to hit the road with something new from Germain Toyota. Right now, get into a rugged 2026 Toyota Tundra with just 2.99% financing for up to 72 months. Power, performance, and capability ready for every spring adventure. Or cruise into the season with a 2026 Tacoma SR5 for only $299 a month for 36 months and $39.99 due at signing. Fresh deals, fresh rides. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road or online at germaintoyota.net.
I'm Breer Albizu, traffic anchor for 10 TV News this morning. Columbus is quickly becoming my home, and this community has welcomed me with open arms. My mission is simple, to help you get to where you're going quickly and safely. Whether it's helping you beat the slowdown on 270 or giving you detours around major construction. We've got you covered, because when your morning's on the move, so are we. Make the move to 10 TV News this morning, weekdays from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
Once there was a man who couldn't stand.
A mom who couldn't wait.
A scientific community that said it couldn't be done.
And then you.
And then I.
And then we brought neuromuscular disease into screaming color with the Muscular Dystrophy Association.
For 75 years, our voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
We've willed the impossible into existence.
We've pushed the science,
raised the funds,
shifted the narrative,
and transformed the reality of life with neuromuscular diseases.
For 75 years, we've built communities together,
established the field of neuromuscular medicine,
and made it thrive.
Call that a legacy.
Call it impact.
Call it momentum.
Just call it ours.
Because it's the generations of community heroes that give MDA the strength we have today.
And until neuromuscular disease is a thing of the past, you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
I always tell people I was the luckiest guy in the world. I wanted to be an Army man or a fireman, and I got to do both. As a firefighter, my job was about saving lives. I never thought one day I would be fighting for mine.
After spending his career answering the call to save others, Ken was diagnosed with ALS. Now he's facing his biggest battle, for more time. For 70 years, Muscular Dystrophy Association has been answering the call to help people live longer and more independent lives.
MDA means to me hope.
MDA is leading the way for people living with ALS, muscular dystrophy, and other neuromuscular diseases by accelerating research, advancing care, and advocating to empower families like Ken's.
I wouldn't be living as good of a life with ALS if it wasn't for MDA. MDA is helping people live stronger and love longer. Learn more at MDA.org today.
Attack and dominate. You're locked into Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
I am going to put to bed the argument about the possibility I've seen every PTI, Bob. Here's my argument. Scale of 1 to 10. Oh, you can play this game too. We can play a home game.
All
Everyone
right.
can play it. Scale of 1 to 10. How good of a husband's, because I've been 2 of them, do you think I've been? 1 to 10. Would you anticipate?
Give you a 7.
You'll give me a 7. That's I appreciate that. What would you give
I
me?
would say at least I've never known you outside of your current situation. I would say
Administration.
you're probably an 8 because you were
Wow.
parked at a Blue Jackets game and they paid $15.
Yes.
And
then
your
went
wife
home.
said you need to come home even though you have a 12-year-old and 9-year-old that needed to be watched.
Fair. Okay. How good of a father would you anticipate I've been 1 to 10?
I'm going to say 0 at this point.
Okay, 0. That's fine. That's fair. Bodie?
As a fatherless person, I don't feel comfortable answering that.
Wait,
so.
you've got a father. You're not a fatherless
Yeah,
person.
I am fatherless.
You're
Well, you're
kidless.
childless.
You're kidless.
Easy, Michael Scott. I think it's a fatherless. I'm like, dude.
You're not fatherless. You're kidless.
I'm like, bro, you talked about your dad in the present
test
tense
tube?
earlier.
Somebody actually hooked up with somebody to get you here.
I don't know.
My mistake? Yes, as a childless.
It was
okay, yes, childless.
I don't
yes.
know that I feel comfortable
Okay.
answering that.
If
just
I'm a
'cause-
0 in Bob's opinion as a father, it's possible I've made PTI a priority above being a father.
No, you don't. Here's the question for you. This is why, because you acquiesce to your kids so much that I know that there's no way that you didn't have to do something.
I will tell you this one more time. Also, another thing. I've watched PTI naked. Speaking of naked PTI and naked Pinocchio, we now bring on Ya Highness. We will do this now. Ya Highness joins us from parts unknown, looks like Arizona. Good morning, Ya Highness. You made it back, it looks like. The Jackets beat your Red Wings. Go to hell on that one.
Yes.
Did you pay a premium for those tickets, or did you pay face value or less than face value?
Just, I think, face value. They were pretty good priced, pretty good seats. What a great game until the end. And I was sitting there behind the goal that they scored on, and just a dagger through the heart. So congratulations to Columbus. Congratulations. By the way, I made a bet with a guy that Detroit would have a farther playoff run than the Minnesota Wild. And so I'm going to have to grow out just a mustache, like a handlebar mustache. I got to do that for a month. So if you see me with a mustache, I'm going to lose this bet. So, all right, a couple things we got to get squared away. Number one, it's no longer Tito, it's Corny Heiser. Tony Corny Heiser.
That's fine.
You've never seen every episode. I've seen a ton of them. And yes, there was TiVo back in 2004, 2005, so that could be true. I've seen a ton of those episodes, but there's no way you've seen them all.
Thank you.
Number two, Brody, do you like the hot sauce? That's the only gift I was a little unsure about.
Yeah, no, you're good. I haven't dove into it yet, but
I had the taffy. It was good. The taffy was good. I enjoyed the taffy. I've had two of them.
Taffy?
Yeah.
Did you get some taffy too?
Have you worn your belt buckle?
Did your son get taffy? Did your son get any taffy?
No, he didn't. Okay. No, he didn't. He didn't get any taffy.
I'm going to wear the belt buckle this weekend.
I love it. Send me a picture. The other thing is, I already forgot what the other thing is. Let's talk Masters. I know what it was. My ride at the airport didn't show up. I get into Phoenix. Mike Vrabel's supposed to pick me up, but he's got all this meetings up in Sedona. He said, I'll be up in Sedona. I'll come on down, pick you up. And he wasn't there. He wasn't there. I don't know what was going on. He got in a little bit of hot water or something there in Sedona. By the way, it's a
warm water. It's warm water. We don't know if it's hot water. It's warm water as we speak.
No, I think they keep the pool there about 86 degrees in Sedona, so I think that is hot water they were in, literally. Anyways, all right, let's get on with this show. Let's do it, baby.
All right, the Masters starts today. I think 7:40 a.m. first tee time. Get ready to go off right now. Your thoughts on that? I know you got Gerber on your show. I checked that out, but what are your thoughts on the Masters?
So, I'm not going to give you a whole spiel because if you got to get a bet in, you got to get it in now. You got 10 minutes. So let me give you just a couple really fun, exotic. These aren't super serious. This is more for entertainment, so bet accordingly. But on Caesars, they have this crazy little bet called bingo. Bingo means that the range of the score, one golfer on any of the days, so the whole field has to obtain every score. So for plus 650, so 6.5 to 1, if every score throughout the whole tournament, each digit, I don't know how to explain it, 64 to 85, but every round, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, continuous, has to be scored by one golfer on at least one of the days throughout the tournament. So that's a fun little one. I love the hole-in-one props. There's a lot of boost out there. FanDuel, DraftKings, things like that have a bunch of boost. Those are fun props. And then here's the thing, live betting. If you're at home, I think ESPN and some of these other networks and streaming services will have it where you can watch the individual hole. And so I love nothing more than to flip on like one of the par threes and start watching, and then we start live betting these guys. Now, here's the trick when you live bet golf. You never bet the par. Like if you're betting, so the next hole, are they going to score birdie or better, par or bogey? You either take birdie or better or bogey or worse. You never touch par. It's usually minus money. You get plus money. Try to get around plus 200, 300. You only got to hit about half of these to make money, but that's a fun bet. And actually, my personal opinion, bogey or worst, find a guy that's struggling to hit greens and then bet bogey to worst on par threes. So there you go for that.
I like it, man. I like it. Do you ever live? I guess if you ever can you live bet in Arizona?
Yes.
Have you ever gone to the Phoenix Open? Because I know there's some time delay and things, and have they been able to lock that down? That if you're on location, the ability to live bet, especially golf, of having the odds of what's going to happen on individual holes, just given the fact that you're ahead of the television? Like, is that a real thing?
And you can watch this at home on the game or whatever tonight, is pull up your sports betting account and you'll see that the odds and things are changing ahead of what you're seeing on the TV. So those are so up to date that there is no advantage. The only thing I've ever heard of is in some of these obscure tennis matches where if you have the judge in the chair that's a little slow to make the score, there is a slight, but that's so complicated. But for the most part, these apps and technology are so advanced, and they will lock things temporarily too, where you can't place a bet. They'll lock the market. So trust me, they are ahead of the 7-second delay or whatever the TV's on. So if you're watching a game at home and also looking at your sportsbook account, you'll see sometimes the time left in the game and things like that, they're a good 10 to 15 seconds ahead of you.
He is Chad at WeWinYouWin.com. Also check him out on YouTube. Shut Up and Bets, where you can find him on that one. You mentioned the holes in one. And you, as somebody who's fancied himself as a fairly accomplished golfer who had some great moments on the links, have you ever had a hole in one?
Never in my life.
What's the closest you got?
I've holed out from the fairway numerous times. This one always sticks with me. I was about 12 years old, 13 years old. Heather Downs Country Club in Toledo, Ohio, Albany, Ohio.
Got it. Thanks.
Yeah, Heather Downs. But anyways, hole number 16, for anybody that's familiar with the course, is a par 3 over the water, and it's got a 2-tier green. And so the pin was just in front of the tier. So I hit like a pitching wedge onto the little tier. It comes rolling back down, and it's 2 rolls from going in. That's the closest I've ever had a hole in one. But I've holed out from the fairway. I've holed out on a par 5 with a 3-wood from 255 yards to make a 2 on a par 5, but I can't get a wedge to go in on a par 3.
So you
it's luck, a lot of luck.
Yes, we've got college basketball now over, college football over for a while. No NFL right now. Baseball in full swing, but NHL coming to the playoffs, NBA coming to the playoffs. Do you ever have downtime? Like, is there a couple of months or a month where it's like, you know what, I kind of from Wedding Crashers, like just kind of like dial it down a little bit and reset, or is it constantly busy for you?
80% of the time it's constantly busy. The one little reprieve I have is once the NBA finals and NHL finals, which is like middle of June-ish, when that ends, then I have a little bit of a reprieve, because then it's basically golf, baseball, and tennis. All-Star break, we get a little bit of a break in there for a couple days. And then I do a mandatory around my birthday. I usually take about 4 or 5 days, and I just disappear. So I got to get off my phone. I spend way too much time on the phone. So this year we'll be down in Baton Rouge in Louisiana. End of May, there's my birthday, so I'll be disappeared. May or may not be able to make the show that week. But yeah, so no, July, I guess, would be the slowest month, I guess, if I had to put it out there, especially when the British Open ends. That kind of cools down. But then once we hit August, then it's all prepping for, college football previews, NFL previews. And so, starting at the beginning of August, we're already ramping up on football again. So there's not a whole lot of rest for the weary, as they say.
Who do you think is ultimately going to win the Masters?
That's a great question. And I think a lot of people would love to know that answer. If I had it, I'd tell you. I like a few guys. Some of the people I have bet, and this is a little bit sneaky, I don't think a lot of people, Captain America, that's Patrick Reed. I do like Bryson DeChambeau. John Rahm's been playing very well, and I don't think a lot of people are talking about him. Jordan Spieth is kind of a little sneaky play, but we talked about this with John Gerber. I think he talked about it on your show the other day. This is a very top-heavy field, meaning I don't think anybody outside maybe the top 20, top 25 in odds has any shot of winning. A lot of history, a lot of data to go by, but usually you got to have about 4 or 5 rounds or tournament rounds under your belt at Augusta before you have win it. The only real exception there was Scotty Scheffler. I think he only had like 3 or 4 starts when he won it his first time, but all of them have had to go, grind their teeth or cut their teeth on the course and get a few bumps on their head before they can win it.
It's ironic, I believe, Ya Highness, that the fact that you show up in Ohio for a few days and then you leave, and now there's some kind of talk about restricting online gambling in the state of Ohio, and online sports betting is what the thing is. They're talking about this bill where it could effectively end online sports gambling in the state of Ohio. I don't think this will go through. Do you?
I think no. I think there's some compromises. There are a few good points they bring up. The few things that they brought up that I would actually agree with would be, I don't think that people should be using credit cards to make deposits. Debit cards, yes, right? Venmo. PayPal,
How am I supposed to get the points, though?
Right, I got
Southwest American Express Black Card, Bobby. Come on. So that's one, I think. And then also, I think, I've been saying this for a while, there's too many opportunities for cheating when you're doing these player props. And as much as I like betting the player props, right, one of the biggest scandals was right there in Cleveland. So I think that resonates there in Ohio a little bit more than many other states. But yes, the opportunity to cheat is more prevalent on these individual player props. So that probably goes away. I know DeWine, the governor there, has already kind of come out with the college and shut those down.
I mean,
think
that's just, listen,
props.
It's an industry, Your Highness. I mean, if you get caught, I'm public execution. That'll clean it right up. You got to make the penalties pretty severe.
This is the one thing they mentioned that kind of just threw me in a tizzy, which, are we in America or not? They wanted to say that nobody is allowed to place more than a $100 bet.
What?
Who are you to tell me how to spend my money? I thought this was
right.
America. Yeah, they wanted to limit the max bet of $100.
Terrible.
They wanted to make it so you couldn't use your phone. You had to actually go in person to one of the casinos. Well, that's great for the people down in Southeast Ohio. How far do they got to drive to Cincinnati or Columbus to make a bet then? It's convenient if you're in Toledo or Cleveland or Cincinnati or Columbus and you got a casino nearby where you can drive 20, 30 minutes. But how about the people in Chillicothe, Ohio? How far do they got to go? So, yeah, it's proposed by a lot of guys in the northern part of Ohio. I think there is some underlying maybe religious reasons. I try not to get too political on this, but I think there is some religious reasons in there as well. But yeah, I think they're out of their mind. I think it's the most anti-American thing I've ever seen, where you're going to tell the people of your state how much money they can spend, where they can spend it, how they can spend it. I understand restrictions and protecting customers, but prohibition's never worked in this country ever. All you do is you take those people and you turn them over to the dark side of things, the underbelly of the industry, where the players don't have protections. Look, the greatest thing that Ohio did was legalize it, because now you're actually all your citizens the protection. The Ohio Gaming Commission can come on and protect their players and protect all the interests. If we turn this back into no sports betting, guess what? All your local bookmakers get in business. All your offshore accounts get back in business. The kids I shouldn't say kids, but the guys and the girls out there betting on sports don't stop betting on sports. They just find other avenues, ways to do it.
I am not big on the public execution thing, but with Bob, though, I'm saying if you punish Terry Rozier the right way, he won't be able to go left anymore, if you know what I mean. Thanks so much for the time, Your Highness. We will talk again next week.
Yeah, see you then.
All right. Peace. That was Your Highness there. Chad at WeWinUwin.com. Go check it out. Also at Shut Up and Bet. He's got his $100 to $1 million going on if you want to check that out and see what you can do there. And he is convinced he'll be a millionaire by the end of the year. You could be as well. Or as maybe Brody and I are going to do, we're going to try to be 100,000-aires, because we're not going to do the $100 to $1 million. We might do 10 to 100,000. All right, folks, coming up next, we'll tell you what's got Juice, Morning Juice.
Hey folks, Austin Ward here. You know, there was a time if you handed me a bread basket at dinner, it was like feeding a gator. You might lose a finger. Bread, pasta, pizza, man, carbs were undefeated in my life. That is, until Awaken 180 weight loss came in and flipped the script. Look, I've run the gauntlet of diets, and each time, carbs won by knockout. But Awaken 180 isn't a diet. It's a whole new playbook for changed up lifestyle. We all know it's necessary to lose that weight, but this is to keep it off. That constant carb craving, the one we all shrug off as normal, gone. Sure, I still love my pizza, but here's the difference. Now I don't need it. So now, most times when that waiter hustles over with a basket of temptation, I just grin, give a little nod, and wave it away like I'm passing on a 4th and long, because I'm in control now. Awaken 180 isn't just a game changer, it's a life changer. Trust me. Call them at 844-346-1800 or visit awaken180weightloss.com. Your future self will thank you.
I'm Meredith Garfalo, meteorologist at 10 TV News This Morning, and I'm an Ohio girl. I love golf, aerospace, and all things Ohio sports. For nearly 20 years, I've studied the patterns that shape our days, from winter wonders on the south side to dangerous storms along the I-71 corridor. When the weather changes, you'll be the first to know, because you need a forecast that moves as fast as you do. Make the move to 10 TV News This Morning, weekdays from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have zero-turn, skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family-owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons located in Mount Sterling and Marysville or online at greenandsons.com for all your Kubota needs.
It's been a real journey since 2014 when I first had my injury. I realized that my home was just not working for me and that it was time to ask for help. Homes for Our Troops is really giving me my life back. The shower allows me to go in and turn around with my chair, pull down storage racks, automated door systems, hours of my morning given back to me. Adaptive sports are a huge part of my life, a huge part of my healing journey as well. Homes for Our Troops helped with making sure that I had a home gym so that I can continue to train. This past year, I was able to host Thanksgiving in my home. And it was the first time I was able to have my whole family in one place and I was able to contribute to the meal. There are a lot more veterans in need and Homes for Our Troops is going to be there to help them too.
Homes for Our Troops builds and donates specially adapted custom homes nationwide for severely injured post-9/11 veterans and enables them to rebuild their lives. Join our mission at hfotusa.org.
We built a brand new studio just for Bobby, and Tito has already ruined it just by being here. I'm pregnant. This is Morning Juice.
Morning Juice, final segment of the program. Thank you to Ya Highness for joining us there. Chat at WeWinUwin.com, at Shut Up and Bet on YouTube. Thank you to Albert Breer, MMQB, joining us as well. And pretty much just, I feel like Bob, he endorsed the fact I've seen every PTI episode. We can agree to disagree on that, but I feel like he's on my side.
I don't think so. I think he came to the consensus that that's impossible. And Your Highness also co-stamped that.
Tomato. Let's tell people it's got us juiced.
What's got you juiced?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. For all your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Kind of wanted to know why we have two morning shows at the same time.
It honestly amazes me, even more so than somebody watching every episode of PTI, how people can stumble into our YouTube chat, but also be completely unaware how they got there, I guess.
Right.
I don't know.
Because then he says, because I like listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
Which is fine.
And then he says he's going to check out now until Bishop and Friends.
Yeah, just thanks for letting us know.
Appreciate
Not
all
an
that.
airport.
Thank you.
You don't have to let us know when you're departing.
There you go. Yes. I'm off social media. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Big
Thank you.
announcement. Yes. It's a.
I hope we can all survive without you.
It is a Thursday, which means that we will hear from Schlegs first.
First off, I don't really tune into a lot of golf, though I do like golf, guys. I really do enjoy golf. I can talk more about golf than I can hockey, but I love hockey because it's physical and it's violent. But I'm not going to be watching the LIV.
It's unfortunate. I've been watching. I've watched every. I've watched.
every.
Now you're mocking me.
There
No.
are some things where it's like, you know, I've always kind of joked like, oh, if you asked me any Notre Dame score the last 15 years, I could tell you. But I say that slightly tongue-in-cheek. I don't know that I could tell you every single score from the last 15 years. Probably most of them, though. Yeah. But I acknowledge it's most of them.
So you're saying it's a bold statement. You say, I've seen every single episode of PTI. I have.
I think that's bold, yeah. Maybe slightly
There's
incorrect.
a famous line that guys in the, I don't know if it's all professional sports.
Right.
There's no 100%ers in this world.
Bob, I might be 101%. I may have seen future episodes. What's got you juiced, Bode?
What's got me juiced? Well, Robert,
it happened.
I've been remiss in my duties. My king is married, and I owe my new queen a gift. You know, sometimes I forget, and you've said this to me before. You kind of forget Game of Thrones isn't your average TV show, and last night was a good reminder. I finished the episode at 10 o'clock. I basically just stared at my computer screen for like 15 minutes. I don't think I moved because I didn't really know how to react to the red wedding.
I can't go to sleep right now.
It was a red wedding? Is that what you said?
Firing. That's what
It's not the official name. It's the name that was given to it.
So it's not a white wedding like Billy Idol.
It is not a white wedding.
It's a red wedding. Does red mean blood?
What do you think?
I think that's
I'm just
a fair
guessing,
assumption.
Bob.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm
It's a good
asking.
guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was blood shed at the wedding?
Yeah. A lot of it, yeah.
So there was like fighting, or was it?
I wouldn't define it as fighting as much as it was an
winning.
An execution.
So that, I don't know if that really had me juiced, because personally I was rooting for the Starks, and I just wasn't ready for that, Carp.
Okay.
And it's funny because you warned me. You told me to be ready, but I'm just sitting there watching the shot.
Oh, this looks like it's
a
going
good time. Yeah, Arya's about to reunite with her family finally for the first time in Lord knows how long. No, just kidding, actually. And by the way, as somebody who is a dog lover, I don't know why we have to keep showing all the dire wolves, which I guess are wolves and not dogs, but every time a Stark goes,
they kill the dog.
Yeah, which just, I don't know. That's probably not necessary, but that had me, I guess, slightly juiced.
Stabbing a pregnant woman in the stomach that you're going to kill anyway probably is unnecessary as well. But
probably could have just made that a little quicker. The arrows through Robert Stark's torso.
Spoiler alert.
Hey, yeah.
It's
10 years old.
Yeah, it's been 10 years. And you had heard, the thing is, you had heard about the red wedding. Did it live up to the expectation?
I guess so, yeah. Maybe not in terms of just how dramatic it was. Yeah, I think that's fair. Because obviously it's an insanely popular show, and I'm pretty late to the party, acknowowledging that. But
I almost wanted to rewatch that episode last night.
just to get it in one more time.
Well, my kids are going to be around, and there's not a lot of nudity in that episode. I don't think there's really a ton of profanity, but it gets a little graphic.
Pretty vulgar, yeah. It's pretty, I think that's fair to say. And so I didn't really know a lot about the show going into it. And I can honestly tell you that I think the things I knew the most was I knew Kit Harington had become a star from it, Emilia Clarke, and then Peter Dinklage. Those were really like the only three
little
people.
Guy, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Thank you. Seen him on Sesame Street.
And so
the Simon
that was about
Says episode.
That, and then I guess the fourth thing on that list was I had heard of the Red Wedding, but that's not what the episode is called. So I don't know that I was ready for that. And then just old Joffrey. Just every time you. I don't even know. Yeah, I wouldn't say every time you start to get on his good side because he didn't really have one. But every time you start to maybe forget about how horrible he is, he just reminds you, well, I killed your father, so maybe I'll step up in his shoes and give you away your wedding. By the way, when they go to get married, I'm just going to take away Tyrion's little stool there, just as a little.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
And then
I forgot about that.
Took a stool from the little guy?
Yeah.
That seems harsh.
Discrimination, I would say.
I would say so, too.
But he's the king, so what can you do? And then when he lets Sansa know that he'll pay her a visit that night on her wedding night. Just a really horrible human being. So amongst all the deaths, his is next that I'm rooting for, and I'll probably be rooting for until it comes. Speaking of deaths, fortunately he's still with us, but big one tonight, Thitoff.
Yep.
Our beloved Jason Tatum returns to...
Madison
he didn't
Square
die,
Garden,
but
yes.
he tore his Achilles almost a year ago to the day, May 12th last year. So 2-seed on the line, Carp. I know you'll be fired up for that one tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't poop his pants.
Yeah, that's key.
He's got that going.
I like
for him.
Jason Tatum a lot. He's a very likable guy. A really good dad. Like just a good. I feel like he's a pretty good human. Hopefully, I don't hear about him being a bad guy because I
Also
really
seen
like
every episode of PTI.
Probably he wasn't alive.
I was going to say.
But.
So yeah, I'm juiced that you saw episodes 8 and 9 because there's a little bit of juice in 8 that I kind of gave you a heads up on, and then I didn't want to give you anything about the Reigns of Castamere. And this is when it starts to pick up. And you felt like, hey, this is going pretty good for my guys, the Starks. They're a lovable crew. I can cheer for them.
All of them too, honestly.
Yeah, they're the good guys.
Pretty good honor.
Honor doesn't necessarily get you that way.
No, it does not.
In the Game of Thrones, Bodie, either you win or you die, and they've had a lot of death. So they go into hiding here and try to figure some things out for a while. I'm gonna have to probably watch some of that this weekend. I'm gonna watch Prisoners.
Yeah.
Prisoners this weekend as well. We don't have any youth sports on Saturday, which is awesome. So got some time. Gonna get some yard work done. Maybe watch Ohio State's practice tomorrow. So juiced up about that. Probably going to get to bed early tonight. Got to bed early last night trying to kick this cold and start to feel a little better. So that's always a positive. That's got me juiced. And then Also, some negative juice. Like Thitoff's just outlandish takes and the living in the land of unreality, lack of reality. I mean, just fantasy, rainbow land.
What take is not in reality?
The fact that you've claimed to have seen every PTI episode. That's like Pepper Johnson when he claimed to us, who had played 13 years in the NFL, that he'd never missed an open field tackle. I go, John Mayo goes, wait. Played against Barry Sanders. He goes, I watched him break 12 tackles on a play before. You're telling me? And he's like, never once. Like LeVar Ball, never lost. Well, you know what they did? They were able to go through the archives and find one. And then he got angry about it. And I'm like, it's an outlandish statement. It doesn't make you any less of a person. It doesn't mean you're less of a coach or less of a player or anything. Saying that you never missed an open field tackle in the NFL is completely ridiculous. I don't care how good you are. It doesn't matter. And so you're saying, like, I've seen for the last 25 years at 5:30, I've never missed an episode of PTI.
I haven't watched them all at 5:30. I've seen some on the DVR or the TiVo. I've seen them, Bob. I've seen every single episode.
Would you say that's positively impacted your life?
It's impacted my life.
So you're telling me when you went to the Oregon game last year and you flew out on Thursday that you DVR'd the game, and you watched a news broadcast that basically was 3 days old when you got back, 4 days old?
No, I watched them. I was there.
If you DVR'd it.
On my phone, DirecTV, you've got a thing. I've got a DirecTV app, and I can watch.
See, this is like, I mean, I believe that.
Yeah, there's an app that I can do it. Like, I will watch it. Bob, you know what typically will happen? I'm a nighttime shower. Okay? Getting personal here now. I usually take showers at night, not in the morning. I will take a shower before bed around 7:30, and I will, in the shower, have PTI on my phone, and I'll watch it while I am bathing myself.
Take a half-hour shower?
No, you fast forward through the commercials.
Still 18 minutes.
It's 22 minutes.
That's what I
21:30, I think it was.
More than 18, though.
It's more than 18, yes. Yeah, Bob, I will take a longer shower. Ask the wife. She will tell you. Ask her, next time you see my wife, say, how long of a shower does Tito take?
22 minutes.
At least 22. And I'll fast forward through, unless the phone gets wet. And then when you try to hit the 30 seconds forward thing, you've got to, like, step out and wipe it off with the towel, Bob, and then you've got to hit it again. But I'm just saying, yes, Bob, I've seen every single episode of PTI.
Have you thought about allocating that time to watching some of the shows or movies that we frequent on this show?
This is more timely. This is like, because this helps us. If I see something on PTI,
What happened yesterday on PTI that
so groundbreaking
we discussed today?
Okay, that's fair.
Because it's kind of a 24-hour
it really is
show,
like,
right?
Yes,
like after you.
Yes.
And I would say not even 24 hours because once those games,
a lot of games went off last
happen,
night.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of.
I'm going to say this. I have not seen yesterday's episode yet. I will watch it today, though. No, I will watch it today.
No wonder today's show was, missed the mark.
AJ back from spring break?
Yeah, spring break's a week.
Okay, I want to make sure because I don't want to tease it.
Talking to a man who takes 25-minute showers.
Right, I don't want to tease it, Bob.
Tito's spring break might be 6 months.
Coming up next, tomorrow. Coming up next, stuff.
Pardon. What is it? PTI. Pardon the interruption.
Pardon the interruption. Yes, but tomorrow though we'll have AJ Hawk